Hey everybody, it's Farmer Jayne
and Mike
from Earth Care Farm. We're here, it's June 1st, and we're just going to talk about what we've been doing this last week in the garden. There's so much to do this time of year, and it can get a little overwhelming. The weeds are starting to come in a little bit too. There's lots to plant, now starting stuff to harvest, but it's all really fun stuff. So I thought first, since what was on my task list today was trellising the cucumbers, I thought we would show you how we trellis those. So this is my simple trellising method. You can see here that I have some seedlings that I planted from seedling 2 weeks ago now. At the same time I planted these cucumbers, I seeded cucumbers. It's my succession planting. And then I'm about to start some more seeds. When these get about this tall, I'm going to start some more seeds. So I have like this constant flow of cucumbers in the garden, and then you don't get too many all at once. A nice slow release of cucumbers throughout the season. We'll probably do this, I don't know, about 5 times.
Succession is very, very important.
Yeah, succession planting. And to make it tidy, because we have tight space in the garden, I do trellis up the cucumbers. You don't have to do that, but I do find it saves some space. I like a little height in the garden too. And so this is my simple method. I just have 2 stakes, and then I tie them up like this, and they have little tendrils. They'll climb onto this twine. So there's lots of great ways to trellis. This has just been simple for me. It takes literally, that was maybe 3 minutes. Just pound the stake in. I do have a stake pounder. If you're going to be doing this regularly, it's nice to get one of those stake pounders. And then I just use a nice twine to put 2 lines. Really, really simple. And then I'll add lines as they start to grow. I can show you where we did that with the peas earlier in the season. Really fun, simple way to do things. But again, if you have something more fancy and that takes more time that you enjoy, go ahead and do that. There's lots of ways to trellis things.
And the better your soil, the easier it is to pound that stake in.
It's true. I made it look kind of easy, but if you have hard-packed soil, that can be really challenging. While we're here, I'll just talk about, we're next to our sunflowers. They are really looking good right now, just starting to come up. I think we're about a month in with these guys being planted. And I do incorporate a lot of flowers. These are allium flowers that just kind of have volunteered themselves here. And while we were standing here a minute ago, there was a bumblebee that landed on them. I have them here specifically to attract pollinators, which just add a lot to the garden. While here in the garden next to the cucumbers, we saw these cool mushrooms that have popped up. They really like the wood chip pathways. And we just find that the wood chip pathways bring in a lot of this fungal life that I think is really awesome and brings in some benefits to the plants as well that we're just starting to understand. But don't be alarmed if you have mushrooms in your garden. It's really a nice addition, a nice, Poppy always says it's a higher life form.
Yeah, all these life forms are interconnected. We rely on the bacteria to release the nutrients to the plants, but when you have the mushrooms, it shows you that you have a lot of fungi in your soil also, which is all beneficial. And they love, like Jayne said, they love to grow where you spread your wood chips in the aisles, pathways.
So we're here at the dwarf sugar snap peas, and they're just starting to come in. You see I've trellised just the way I did the cucumbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. I'm gonna add a 5th because they're starting to overgrow and the tendrils will grab onto this top line. But they're just starting, and they're a little bit small, but this week they'll really come in. We got little peas starting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's nothing like sugar snap peas in the garden. You cannot buy that at the store. So I'm just gonna add a line. This is all you have to do. You could do this all at once when you first trellis. I just usually, I don't know, I like to see the progress and add on. I'm just gonna do a little line like that.
Like Jayne said, you can't buy this quality in the store when you grow it yourself. And with this inflation, it's going to be, I think more people will be growing their own food. And besides just the economics, it's really, really helpful where you're making the earth great again by taking care of your soil.
Next to the peas, I did plant some spinach. And so we do have some spinach is starting to come in here. That is good. It's a little bit, I think the slugs have gotten to it a little bit.
It's still fine.
It is still fine. Just give you a little overview of what's happening in the rest of the garden. We've got some chamomile that's actually ready to harvest. Little carrots starting to come up. Some turnips back there. Peppers over here. This is our famous lovage plant that will get to be way taller than Poppy, actually. We have yarrow, which is just a nice thing to attract pollinators. Another succession of peas, and some volunteer potatoes. When you harvest potatoes with children, a lot of times the potatoes are left behind. And then here's some onions that were just these tiny little strands, and they're starting to thicken up. But they won't be till the end of July that we actually get the onions, the bulbs. They're looking pretty good. Slow going, but this June 1st
Yeah.
in the garden.
Well, you blink and things change.
It's true. I'm excited to see the next couple weeks. It's changed so much in the last month. Well, thanks everybody.
Changes for the better.
Hope all your gardens are thriving.